Welcome back to our study called The Call of God. Looking at Genesis chapter 12. Today we're looking at verses 8 through 9. In these final verses of this little section here, we see that Abram has begun a pattern in his life. Did you notice that he built an altar at Shechem and not a house? He didn't build a home. He didn't buy property and start building, condos for himself. Abram and his household were living in tents. They were nomads. From Shechem, he lands at the hill country between Bethel and Ai. Does he buy some land and build a house there? No. What does he do? He pitches a tent. But he does build a permanent structure, right? He builds an altar. Why didn't Abram build a home in the land that God promised? God had already promised the land. He said, this is your land. Why didn't he say, okay, I'm going to build some property here. I'm going to buy some property. I'm going to establish a home base here. Even if you wandered around with the sheep or whatever, the goats, why not build a home? He had a home in Ur, right? But he doesn't do that. Well, the writer of Hebrews explains it to us this way. He says, for he was looking forward to the city that has foundations, whose designer and builder is God. Abraham believed that God would give the land that he was living to in the land that he was living in to his family, but he also believed that the physical land was not all the promise was about. Abram and his son and his grandson knew that there was more than just land in the promise. That's why he lived in tents. That's why he built altars. At the end of verse 8, we see a phrase that we encountered way back when we looked at Seth. Abram called upon the name of the Lord there. Between Bethel and Ai, that hill country there, Abram began to call upon the name of the Lord. Remember, this phrase is connected to the public worship of God. So out in the hill country, Abram established really a center of public worship to the one true God, where this wasn't happening before, right? This was not happening before. So Abram is bringing the worship of the one true God into the land of Canaan, setting up that, not living in a house, because he knows that, the promise is for this land, but he's looking forward to more. He's looking beyond that promise and what the promise is really fully entailing. So it's a very cool thing to look at. Just like, what is Abraham thinking here? What is he doing? Why is he doing this kind of stuff? And that's why he's doing it. He's looking forward to more. He's looking forward to those promises that way back to the beginning with the promise to Adam and Eve, all the way through, seeing the promises being fulfilled, seeing when he's obedient, what happens. So next time we'll kind of wrap everything up.